In the heart of a lush and ancient land, bordered by swirling rivers and gentle mountains, there was a city where the golden temple roofs caught the morning light. In that city, behind palace walls, a child once peered out at the world with wide, curious eyes. This was Chula, a prince, yes, but not just a prince. From his earliest days he watched, listened and wondered. Why does that man carry such heavy burdens? Why does that woman's smile vanish when her work is done? As the years turned steadily, Chula grew in stature and knowledge, learning languages, reading histories, and always quietly listening. Then, after a summer of heavy storms, tragedy came upon the palace. His father, the king, passed from this world. Chula stood beneath the great spires, dressed in mourning, feeling the gravity of responsibility settle on his shoulders. There was no more time for childhood musings. The destiny of a nation rested with him. He became King Chulalongkorn, the fifth ruler of the Chakri dynasty. With the royal title came power, but with power, 1,000 challenges. One above all caught his heart: slavery. Across Siam, thousands were born into bonds they could never break. He met with his advisors, heard their reasons. 1,000 justifications bound to law and tradition. But Chulalongkorn did not rule with the fist. He ruled with questions, with caution, with care. His first decree: no child born of a slave shall be a slave. It sounded small. It was, in truth, enormous. The next generation would know sunlight. Over the seasons, he chipped away at the chains, shortening years of servitude, opening roads to liberty. Village by village, heart by heart, old customs fell away like autumn leaves. And at last, he looked out over his kingdom and knew the people were free. Chulalongkorn's vision did not falter there. He saw beyond the borders of Siam, past the jungles and the mountains, to a world changing at frightening speed. Railroad whistles echoed across continents. Steamships crossed the oceans. In nearby lands, European flags unfurled, and ancient kingdoms vanished beneath foreign rule. But Chulalongkorn was not content to watch the tide. He travelled the roads himself, saw the ironwork of trains and the chalk marks of schoolrooms. He weighed Siam's destiny on the scales of progress and tradition. If the kingdom stayed as it was, it could be swept away in a wave of conquest. But if it changed, if it opened itself, it might withstand the storm. He built the first railways, connecting cities and hearts. He established schools, sent bright minds abroad so they could return with new knowledge. He reorganized government itself, new ministries, new laws, new order. With each reform, the roots of the old world shifted. Siam grew, not just in strength, but in unity. His challenges were immense. Not everyone approved, not everyone understood. But when French ships appeared along the Mekong and British envoys arrived with subtle threats, Chulalongkorn met them as equals. He gave them what they wanted least: respect and understanding. He negotiated, he compromised, but he never surrendered Siam's soul. By acts of wisdom, by the subtle dance of diplomacy, he ensured that his beloved homeland remained free. When the maps of Asia were redrawn in European boardrooms, there was one white space: Siam, unconquered. Years rolled onward. The children born free grew old and told their grandchildren the story of the king who had changed their world. The streets of Bangkok echoed with remembrance. Pink roses blossomed where his image watched over the city. They called him Phra Phra Maharaj, the great beloved king. Not for battles won, not for monuments raised, but for a legacy measured in hearts and lives. And on each October 23rd, as the sun dawns over the temples and rivers, pink roses fall once more. Soft as a dream, enduring as freedom, a tribute to the boy who wondered why, and the king who gave his people dignity, hope, and a future.